Olympus Rising, The Messenger, Pilot, written by C.M. Landrus. Teaser. Interior, dungeon-like room, night. It's dark and dank. In hobbles Morin Maldark, frail and sinister, a man who looks as old as time itself. He places a clay, humanish monster figurine with multiple heads in a stone bowl, which oozes a foggy liquid. Imogen, an old woman with ragged, matted gray hair, enters, shoving a cloaked, struggling teenage girl down the stairs. The girl's face is hidden beneath a hood. Imogen forces the girl's hand over the bowl, while Maldark uses an ancient-looking blade to slice her palm. The girl struggles and screeches in pain as thick red blood drips over the clay figurine. The crimson mixes magically with the foggy liquid. When the figurine is nearly covered in bloody fog, they release the girl's hand, tossing her into the corner. From the shadows, the girl watches as the pair peers into the bowl. In the bowl, the figurine begins to awaken with slight bending movements and the faintest of animal-like squeaks. Cute for a monster. They beam, sinister, satisfied, pure evil.
Now my pet will grow stronger than ever before.
And so will I.
Maldark pours some of the liquid from the bowl into a chalice. He sips and breathes deeply. He stretches out his hand. It takes on a slightly more youthful appearance. With increasing strength, he opens and closes his fist.
And this time we will not fail.
He passes the liquid to Imogen, who drinks. The girl stirs. Maldark and Imogen look at her sharply. Imogen grabs the girl, clasps her throat, and squeezes.
No! We still need her.
She squeezes harder. The girl gasps but can't move.
Even I can't control her forever.
Defiant, Imogen grabs the blade, ready to stab the girl, but Maldark stops his partner's hand just in time.
I said no!
Imogen drops the girl, who collapses in the shadows, gasping for air. Maldark retrieves an ancient box. He opens it. Inside is a small, seemingly innocuous crystal, but there's something magical about it. It almost looks alive. Suddenly there's a faint spark from inside. He places the crystal in the girl's bloody hand and nods to Imogen. She reluctantly mutters some barely audible mystical mumbo-jumbo in the girl's cloaked ear. The girl looks up, her face barely hidden by darkness.
Yes, I understand.
End of teaser. Act 1. Exterior, Olympic Valley High School, day. Just your average small-town high school on a dreary, overcast day. Nothing special. Around the corner, in that out-of-the-way, seedy location all schools have, a hand with chipped black nail polish, metal beads, and leather around its wrist, pats a wrinkled t-shirt and digs into the pockets of a faded, raggedy pair of jeans. The hands find a little wooden box with the design of an oak tree being struck by lightning. They carefully remove a joint and place it between the lips of Asher Jackson, 16, his hypnotic eyes and chiseled features well hidden under a disheveled, greasy mop, a misunderstood loner to the core. He holds the joint and lighter in view in a zazen moment of observance. He lights it and inhales deeply, then melts against the wall as he exhales, deep in meditation. Asher is about to reach enlightenment when noise around the corner startles him. Someone's coming. Shit. Asher coughs out some smoke and quickly extinguishes his joint, putting what's left back into the box.
Yeah, let's set up over here.
Asher shoves the box into a side pocket on his tattered backpack, decorated with rock band patches, pot leaf buttons, etc. He hurriedly zips the pocket. In his haste, he doesn't quite get it closed. The sounds of people move closer. Asher snatches up his backpack.
On me in 4, 3.
The voice comes into view. Yoshi Hinokuma, 15, a vibrant, fun-loving guy, positions himself in front of a camera with another student camera person. Yoshi mouths 2, 1.
It's back to school at Olympic Valley High, but...
Asher keeps his head down, trying to evade Yoshi. News camera point of view. Talking head Yoshi.
The mood here is quite somber, with authorities still claiming to have found no trace of missing would-be freshman Aiden Parker.
Yoshi spots Asher and motions the camera person to follow. Exterior, Olympic Valley High School. Day, continuous.
Let's see if we can get a student's input.
Yoshi rushes up to Asher with a microphone. Exterior, sedan outside Olympic Valley High. Day, continuous. Yoshi and the camera person crowd Asher, pinning him against the sedan. News camera point of view. Uncomfortable close-up. Asher's face.
Asher, do you have any thoughts about Aiden Parker's mysterious disappearance?
Off-screen, a throat clears. The camera tilts up to see a gruff examiner with a clipboard.
Today, Mr. Jackson.
Asher pushes the camera away. Yoshi signals to cut. Exterior, sedan, day, continuous.
Not now, Yoshi.
Asher gets in the driver's seat. Interior, sedan, day, continuous. Asher breathes nervously as he tightens his grip on the steering wheel. It's starting to rain lightly.
Okay, start her up. And pull out nice and slow.
Through the windshield, Asher sees Yoshi and the camera person as they continue filming. The student driver car barely moves when an impeccable classic car swoops in, blocking the student driver car. Asher slams on the brakes, causing him and the examiner to jerk forward. The examiner disapprovingly marks his clipboard. Asher breathes, maintains composure, puts his hand on the gear shift, and changes it to reverse. Interior, classic car, day, continuous. Morin Maldar, scarcely more youthful looking than before, peers into his rearview mirror. He makes eye contact with Asher. Maldar flashes that same insidious smirk. Interior, sedan, day, continuous. Asher tries to shake the eerie chill of Maldark's gaze. More raindrops hit the windshield. Suddenly, the gear shift slips back to drive, completely on its own.
What the?
Asher tries to move the gear shift. It's stuck.
Problem, Mr. Jackson?
No, I just...
He forcibly jerks on the gear shift. It won't budge.
Mr. Jackson, honestly, if you can't even...
He looks up. Maldark is still grinning back at him, adding to Asher's agitation. With a final frustrated yank,
Got it.
something clicks and the engine revs. Cut to interior, Olympic Valley High School, afternoon. Through the hallways, students bustle about, members of obvious cliques, jocks, band nerds, preps, etc. Titan banners line the halls and lockers. Asher's gaze stops at Sophia Rios, 16, an otherworldly beauty who radiates a profound darkness and has no business in that stupid cheerleading outfit that reads Titans on the front. Asher speeds up to meet Sophia at a classroom door. Sophia breezes past a poster of a nerdy freshman boy that reads, Missing, Aiden Parker. As Sophia approaches, Asher opens his mouth to say something when Tegan Levine, 16, deliberately pops in front of his view. She's an intellectual with magnetizing sex appeal. She's either a PhD or a stripper in the making, or maybe both. She's clearly got a thing for birds. Cute bird necklace, birds on her notebook. There's even something light and flighty about her. Sophia ducks into the classroom. Asher attempts to maneuver around Tegan.
Hey, Tegan.
She blocks him.
I wouldn't do that if I...
Bam! A shoulder slams into Asher, knocking everything out of his hands. He looks up to see Ryker Maldar, 17, the star jock, a handsomely dark personification of every prom queen's dream, dressed in a Titan football jersey. Ryker is followed down the hall by his horde of jock minions. He barely slows as he enters the classroom, turning to Asher.
You should really watch where you're going, Jackson.
Asher casts a challenging stare. Ryker smirks and turns away. As Ryker approaches Sophia, she smiles wildly at him. Asher swallows his anger and bends down to grab his things.
What is this, the greasers and the soaks?
I tried to warn you.
Tegan drops to the floor with Asher to help gather his books. Asher pulls an oak tree box from his pocket and slips it into Tegan's hand.
Here. Mom said you needed a refill.
Tegan covertly takes the box.
You're a lifesaver. I'm working on some new material. Hopefully this'll help.
In Asher's line of sight, Ryker plants an obnoxious, sloppy kiss on Sophia in plain view of Asher. Disgusting.
Sick old pony boy. It won't last forever.
Just then, Luke Wildhoff, mid-30s, a fit, handsome, rugged woodsman, strolls in just before the final bell sounds. Casual, confident, nerdy cool, he's not afraid to cuss in class. Tegan and Asher take their seats. Interior, classroom, day, continuous. There's a flat-screen TV suspended in the corner of the room, and posters with generic inspirational quotes from famous writers coat the walls.
All right, class, take your seats.
The students begrudgingly situate themselves.
Thank you. And welcome back, Titans. This is world literature. We've got lots of great stuff to talk about this semester, starting with
Wildhoff grabs a tacky miniature bust of Homer sitting on his desk.
this guy right here. Who knows who this is?
Wildhoff's passion is lost on row after row of blank stares. Wildhoff sees Asher staring at the clock.
You coming to the game tonight?
Tegan's question breaks Asher from a trance.
Football? Me?
Half the class turns to Asher with hushed giggles.
Shh.
Asher's not as embarrassed as most kids would be. He shrugs off everyone's reaction. Wildhoff is visibly irked at the disruption, but plays it cool as he continues.
I'll give you a hint. Famous cartoon dad.
Doubt it. I'll probably pick up an extra shift at the lodge.
Well, what about Grayson?
Asher gets distracted when Sophia giggles. He turns to see Ryker slipping his phone in his pocket as Sophia checks her own phone. Sophia peeks up to notice Asher looking back. Her smile fades. Behind her, rain coats the window.
He's not really into school spirit since he graduated or ever.
Wildhoff is still going on about his statuette.
Odyssey, ring a bell? Aziz? No? Ava?
Asher turns back to Tegan.
Why do you want to know about Grayson?
Tegan smiles girlishly and gives a playful shrug. Ryker raises his hand high.
I think I know, Mr. Wildhoff. That fine ornament is the limited edition dollar deal replica of none other than Mrs. Ede Jackson, whom you may also know as Asher's grandma.
The class laughs.
Role model, star athlete, and proper use of objective pronouns. Do your talents have no ends, Ryker?
That's why I'm in the gifted program, Mr. Wildhoff.
The class snickers as Wildhoff takes the high road and continues, still gesturing with the statuette.
Anyway, somewhere just shy of 2,000 years before Christ's followers started to dictate.
Tegan turns sharply to Ryker.
Hey, Riker, did you spend the last 20 minutes thinking of that, Jim? Or does idiocy naturally spew from your mouth?
Funny, Tegan. I don't remember you complaining about my mouth last winter at formal when you had those chicken legs wrapped around it.
Tegan gasps, horribly offended. The class is loving the entertainment.
Asshole.
Ryker hops up.
Would you say inbred?
The class screeches to a halt.
Knock it off, you two. Ryker, congratulations, you just earned your first detention of the year. Now sit your ass back down.
Riker scoffs, unaffected, as he takes his seat again. Wildhoff sees Asher has a slight, victorious expression on his face. He lets it slide and makes one last-ditch effort to conduct class.
Sophia, if anyone here can bail me out.
Asher looks back at Sophia. Sophia makes eye contact with him. She shrugs and looks down.
You've got to be kidding me.
Frustrated, Wildhoff snaps at Asher.
Asher, are we going to have another year of this? I let you barely slide by last semester, but I'm not going to.
Asher cuts him off.
Oh my god. That thing is Homer. This isn't exactly the $1 million question.
The class reacts with surprise and some offense to his outburst.
You got that crappy plastic knockoff down at the History Museum for the rip-off price of $29.95.
Wildhoff examines his statuette, a little offended.
I know because, believe it or not,
Asher turns and looks directly at Sophia.
I was there. And for the record, you gave me a C+ last year. I don't really think that constitutes sliding by.
Wildhoff thinks back. Is Asher right? Asher digs in his bag and pulls out a wrinkled piece of paper.
Before summer, you said to pick up a god from the museum and do a one-page summary. Here.
Asher holds out the paper. We're not sure what's on it. Wildhoff looks down at the paper. Frustrated, Asher pulls it back.
Figures. The one time
Wildhoff takes the paper before Asher can put it away.
I'm still getting that extra credit, right?
Before Wildhoff can respond, the TV screen pops on. On the screen, Titan News flashes along with a student quality news jingle. Yoshi sits in front of a Titan versus Trojans graphic.
Sorry for the class time interruption, but we have breaking Titan news. Tonight's game against our rivals, the Trojan, has been cancelled due to rain.
Classrooms erupt with boos and jeers.
Don't worry, Titans. We'll get them next time. But just because the game's cancelled.
Video footage comes on screen. An external shot of Asher's driving test earlier that day from Yoshi's camera. It's a loop of Asher and the examiner jerking forward as Asher slams the sedan over and over and over into the back of Morin Maldark's car.
It's my uncle's car, you idiot.
A graphic over the video flashes Perseids' party crashing down in the lake. The class starts cracking up as they realize what's going on. The screen goes blank in mid-video. The halls erupt again with cheers. Lightning strikes, thunder claps. Asher is mortified. Even Wildhoff seems to be fighting back a smile. The bell rings. Students grab their things and file out of the room, patting Asher on the back as they leave.
See you tonight?
Ryker passes Asher, staring him down. Asher gives Tegan a way in hell look as she slips out. He waits for the crowd to depart. Sophia breezes past Asher, but doesn't make it out the door.
Sophia,
Damn it. Sophia stops.
Didn't you write a, dare I say, compellingly persuasive essay last year on why cheerleading should be banned from all athletic events?
Sophia gives him a so fucking what shrug.
If I remember correctly, you recommended isolating cheerleaders for the emotional well-being of the student body, similar to the way smoking has been prohibited in public spaces.
She's still waiting for him to make a point.
So, what's with the outfit? Is this a rare attempt at empathy? A covert operation?
You know me, Mr. Wildhoff, always finding new ways to step out of my comfort zone.
Sophia attempts an escape. It doesn't work.
Must have kept you busy if you couldn't spare an hour for the museum.
Yeah, well, it takes a lot of practice to make the perfect human pyramid.
I'll take your word for it.
Sophia tries to get away, but he's relentless.
You know, Asher seems to have taken an unforeseen interest in scholarly activities. Maybe he could show you the highlights sometime. It'll make for a good class discussion.
Asher looks up. Sophia walks out without even looking at him. Salt on an open wound. Wildhoff watches with worry as she exits. Asher tries to go after her, but it doesn't work.
Yes, Asher?
Asher stops, confused. Wildhoff gestures with the crinkled extra credit assignment.
Yes, you'll definitely get the extra credit. And you were right.
Wildhoff picks up his Homer statuette.
$29.95 was the total ripoff. But come on, look at this guy.
Asher almost smiles as he slings his backpack on. Suddenly, his oak tree box falls out of the partially opened pocket. Asher holds his breath in panic as the box tumbles to the floor in reach of Wildhoff. It lands unopened. Asher reaches for the box, but innocently, Wildhoff cuts him off.
I got it.
Wildhoff picks up the box. Asher's about to explode with trepidation. He tries to reach for it, but Wildhoff pulls it closer.
Interesting.
Wildhoff fixates on the symbol, turning the box in his hand.
Did you get this at the museum?
No,
Asher reaches for it again, but Wildhoff isn't finished. Wildhoff is about to open it when Asher swipes it.
my brother makes them.
I should have known. Tell Grayson I'd love to get one sometime.
Asher isn't sure how to react. If only Wildhoff knew. He makes eye contact with Wildhoff. There's a moment between them. Wait, does Wildhoff know something? Asher nods, and Wildhoff's eyes follow him curiously as he walks out. Exterior, Olympic Valley High, day. It's still raining. Asher stands under an overhang, agitated, looking, waiting. He checks his phone. It reads, 0 unread messages. Damn it. He jerks his bag over his head and darts out into the rain. Cut 2. Exterior, track and field day. Close up, a pair of track shoes with gold wings soars down the straightaway on beat with the sounds of steady breathing. Micah Bell, African American, 16, a handsome all-American track star, bolts down the track. He's focused and determined. There is no rain, no track, no school. Only Micah and speed. As Micah runs, he thinks he hears something. A voice whispered in the rain. He can't really make it out.
Yes.
Micah continues without missing a beat. He hears it again. He looks behind him as he's running. Nothing. Weird. Micah rounds the corner and sees a soaking wet Asher, yelling, though he can't really hear him over the rain. That must be what I heard.
Asher, what are you doing out here? It's raining.
Seriously?
End of Act 1. Act 2. Interior. Micah's sports car. Day. Micah's sports car zips through mountain roads.
I stood there waiting for almost an hour this time, Micah.
How many times do I have to tell you? I'm sorry. They said taking me off my meds would make me a little more absent-minded at first. That's why I gotta keep running, helps me focus.
Agitated, Asher pulls the oak tree box out of his pocket. He takes a joint from inside it and pops it in his mouth.
Whatever, Ritalin junkie.
He pulls out a lighter and is about to light up when, with lightning speed, Micah swipes it from his mouth and tosses it out the window.
What the?
Don't. I'm going to pretend you did not just try to do that in my car.
My mom has had me all freaked out over this stupid driving test.
Yeah, I know. I had the honor of playing therapist while you whined about it all summer.
Micah motions to Asher's stash. Begrudgingly, he puts the box back in his pocket.
Helps me focus.
How's that working out for you?
Interior, Maldark's mansion, day, continuous. It's as much of a palace as a mountain home could be, with an empty and cold atmosphere, spotless glass windows, and a breathtaking view of the crystal clear Olympic Valley Lake. What this house lacks in love, it overcompensates for with modern, gleaming, industrial beauty. Ryker enters the front door. He takes off his shoes and places them carefully in line with a row of other polished shoes. He walks in further, absent-mindedly tossing his backpack, on an unblemished sofa as he calls out.
Uncle Morin?
His voice echoes in the emptiness.
Imogen?
Nothing. Cut to interior, Maldark's kitchen, day, continuous. Ryker systematically places various fruits and hemp protein in a blender with some almond milk, purees it, and pours it into a crystal glass, setting it aside. Before even thinking of touching his drink, Ryker cleans the entire scene until it's as spotless as he found it. Cut to interior, Maldark's dining room, day, continuous. Ryker places his protein shake and with a small plate of cookies on the table. Ryker sits at a long dining table in front of an immaculate view of nature, rain still falling as he eats his snack in silence, alone. Exterior, Asher's home, afternoon, continuous. Micah parks the car. He and Asher get out. Asher's home is little more than a rundown shack, barely held together, with a plentiful garden and lush forest surrounding it along with lots of reused materials. There's an unassuming shed to the side. As they hurry toward the door,
Forget about it, okay? We're going to restore your image tonight.
Micah, smoking up and making an ass of myself is kind of my MO. Besides, even if I did subscribe to ritualistic small-town high school indoctrination...
Asher, it's time you move on. You know, take charge of your own destiny or personality or whatever they say on those daytime talk shows my grandma watches.
Asher's not at all won over.
There are still daytime talk shows?
We're going to show up tonight, get wasted, find some super hot girls to make out with, and show Olympic Valley who's king of the mountain.
Asher eyes Micah with skepticism as they linger outside the front door.
Plus, it'll be fun.
Micah, you've never made out with a girl and you don't drink.
Well, I'm off my meds now, so maybe I'll start.
Which one?
Drinking.
There's a silent understanding between them. Micah grins a bit sheepishly. The front door bursts open. Diana Jackson, youthful, 40s, an all-natural beauty, pops into view. She's in nurse's scrubs with a silly celebration noisemaker.
Happy birthday!
She blows the noisemaker at their faces. Micah and Asher stare blankly. Lame, but kind of funny in a mom way.
Hey, Miss J.
Asher brushes past his mother, who knows instinctively he failed. She's disappointed. Interior, Asher's home, afternoon, continuous. Asher's home is very lived in, but cozy, warm, and inviting with plenty of healthy plants. Grayson Jackson, 18, enters the living room and using one forearm crutch. He's unassuming, underscored, with an attractive, boyish charm. His right leg drags and can't support his weight.
Oh, from the looks of it, Lady Di is still our only mode of transportation.
Diana shoots him a not now look. Grayson seats himself in front of a computer with coding on the screen, seemingly not paying attention.
What happened? We practiced for weeks.
You let her teach you? That was your first mistake.
Grayson, please.
Grayson opens an app on his phone with vampires, a castle, and pricing options on it.
Hey, check this out. I finally finished.
Asher leans over to the screen, ignoring Diana.
Huh? Build your own virtual vampire boyfriend?
Asher, I asked you what happened.
Nothing, I just... Seriously, Grayson?
It's a brilliant freemium platform that utilizes gamification. Basic Vampire comes with a free castle, and you can exchange points.
Asher!
He hit more in Maldark's car.
Maisie Jackson, 14, pretty, sweet, and innocent, a bit spacey, pops in from another room, carrying a basket of robust vegetables.
You what?
Who asked you, Maisie?
Oh, please tell me you did that geezer for good.
Yeah, the whole school saw the video of it and started laughing. It was really sad.
Asher tosses a pillow at her, which she instinctively evades without even flinching.
How much damage did you do?
Grayson returns to his coding.
We can't afford this. Asher, how could you be so irresponsible?
Me? You just assume it's my fault.
Micah shifts uncomfortably.
I think I'm going to head...
You're leaving.
No, Micah, you have to stay for Kate.
Please tell me you didn't break his hip or his back or...
Took me nearly 3 weeks to do the back-end coding. But check out this animated fly-through.
Grayson tries to show Asher the dungeon in his game. It's reminiscent of Maldark's dungeon, but Asher is too distracted.
It's my own recipe, just for Asher's birthday. Organic, dark chocolate, cayenne carrot cake, gluten-free and sugar-free.
Micah tries to smile. Grayson and Asher exchange grossed-out glances.
No. And I'm fine, too. Thanks for asking.
Were you smoking beforehand?
Asher looks up. He opens his mouth, but nothing comes out. How does she know? Lie or say nothing.
Relax, die. Asher knows my herbal pain relief is not for recreational use. Well, at least not his recreational use. You know, just the clientele.
Diana embarrassingly avoids Micah's line of sight. She shoots Grayson an enough look. Maisie goes about her business, tending to the plants in the room, and weaving in and out of the commotion.
A couple more lax laws, and the family biz will be finally legit.
Still lingering, Micah squirms amid the tension.
Yeah, I'm going to go.
Micah tries to step in the other direction. Diana turns sharply to him.
No, Micah, you're staying for cake.
No, okay? No, I wasn't high.
Lying is better. Grayson rolls his eyes. He knows better. Micah freezes awkwardly.
Yeah, Micah, you don't want to miss out on mystical Maisie's cake concoction, do you?
The room goes silent, and everyone focuses on Micah.
Well, I kind of...
Don't worry, I keep a stash of pork rinds and spray cheese for emergencies like these.
Ugh, how can you eat that when I have all these?
She motions to her basket.
Asher, how is Grayson supposed to get back and forth to therapy now?
Could everyone please just breathe? Mom, tons of people fail the driver's test the first time. Micah, just come in. This is the dumbest idea you've had yet.
Asher's comment stings Grayson.
Maisie, it's not that we don't love kale with every meal, but...
Asher notices the vegetables in Maisie's basket. They look like something out of an enchanted forest.
But naturals and gummy bears just taste so good when you're stoned and playing video games at 3 in the morning. Right, Ash?
Asher's still focused on Maisie's baskets.
Maisie, do your plants always look so...
Asher, I told you, I'm pulling doubles again starting tonight. They're going to need me at the new clinic in Messania, and plus Maisie
Mom,
has...
the doctor said you're not supposed to.
Grayson sniffs the air.
What's that smell?
Then the fire alarm sounds, and smoke billows out of the kitchen. Asher, Maisie, and Diana rush in the kitchen. Grayson turns nonchalantly back to his computer.
I'll let you guys handle this one.
Interior, Asher's kitchen, day continuous. Smoke spews from the oven. Asher throws open the door, and a few flames shoot out. He reaches for a nearby fire extinguisher and puts out the fire. Diana peers inside as Asher pulls out a charred cake pan.
What is that?
Asher's cake?
Diana snaps.
Damn it, Maisie! How many times have I told you we can't use this oven for more than 10 minutes at a time?
I'm sorry, Mom.
You're sorry? You have to be more careful. We can't just
Mom!
go...
Diana snaps back to reality.
Take it easy.
Diana looks at Maisie, lip quivering. She hugs Maisie.
I'll
Diana looks to Asher.
retake the test first thing next week, but look at you.
What choice do we have? If your dad were still around...
Well, that's not an option, is it?
Asher spins to see Grayson in the doorway.
You gonna do this now?
Reality's a bitch, Ash.
Grayson shrugs, adjusts his crutch, and walks away.
What I did today was stupid. I'm gonna fix it. I'm picking up an extra shift at the lodge tonight.
The doorbell rings.
Micah, just come in.
No. Asher, please come to this Crusades party. Just this once.
Maisie, have you not been listening to the past 5 minutes?
Well, Mom said I can't go if you don't go.
Good, you're not old enough.
But it's supposed to be the brightest in 2,000 years.
Give it a rest, Maisie Daisy. Change is not Asher's forte.
The doorbell rings again.
Micah!
Asher walks out. Interior, Asher's front door. Day continues. Asher reaches for the door.
Micah, since when do you ring the...
He opens the door. No one. The rain has let up.
Micah?
Micah split somewhere between the mental breakdown and the flaming cake.
Again?
Asher is about to close the door when he spots a small box on the ground. Interior, Maldark's mansion. Day. Ryker is out of his football jersey and into simple casual clothes. He's wearing glasses now as he reads. The front door opens, and he jumps up from his empty glass and plate and a few books. Moore and Maldark enters with Imogen trailing behind him. Ryker quickly moves to them.
Uncle Moran.
Annoyed, Maldark stops.
What is this?
Ryker looks at him curiously. Maldark looks better, more youthful, and so does Imogen.
I heard you were in an accident or something, and well,
Ryker eyes them.
Well,
you don't look like, you look,
spit it out, boy.
I just wanted to see if you're okay.
He's fine.
Imogen smirks and brushes past them both, disappearing into another room. Maldark scrutinizes Ryker with his glare.
Aren't you supposed to be representing the Maldark name at a social function tonight?
Maldark notices the backpack sloppily placed on the sofa with papers and books leaking out of it. Ryker catches Maldark staring and rushes to the backpack, shoving the contents back in while whipping out a tablet.
Well, actually, Uncle Morin, the game was canceled, and since it's the beginning of junior year, I thought maybe we could look at colleges together.
Maldark gives him and the tablet a look of disgust, but Ryker persists.
See, I bookmarked a couple. I was thinking maybe Yale, because...
Just pick one, I'll write you a check.
Maldark pushes the tablet aside.
Now go get changed into something more presentable.
Ryker's expression plummets to deep disappointment. Then he removes his glasses, and in a split second, his disappointment bubbles into an anger that flashes in his eyes. Interior, Asher's front door, day continuous. Asher picks up the box and opens it out of sight. He peers down the road, searching for any sight of the gift bearer. A slight breeze rustles his hair. He closes his eye momentarily. In the darkness, he hones in on a faint, distant female voice whispering something muffled from the breeze.
Asher, are you coming to the proceeds party or not?
Asher jerks back to reality, unsure of what just happened. He snaps the box closed. His plans have changed. End of Act 2. Act 3. Exterior, Olympic Valley Lake, night. It's a stunning, regal setting with a lake situated at the base of the mountains, fed by a cascading stream, with moonlight peeking through parting clouds and ping-ponging off gently lapping waves. The Maldark mansion, an evil fortress of a home, looms on the mountainside in the distance. The party is already in full swing. Tegan, surrounded by guys and girls who seem to be entranced in her presence. Yoshi has his DJ table set up, mixing some beats. Micah, talking closely with a few attractive guys. Ryker, his jock friends, and Sophia, until we stop on Asher, enters with Grayson and Maisie at his flanks. An off-kilter, misfit gang, if there ever was one. Grayson spots Tegan. She pretends not to notice him. Grayson grins.
Later, kids, destiny away.
Can't wait to say I told you so.
Maisie stops two bubbly young teenage girls, Blake and Chloe, and rushes to them. Chloe and Blake shove a plastic cup in Maisie's hand.
You'll never guess who we just saw making out with that repeat senior who sits behind Chloe in French class.
The one Blake says looks like the werewolf from that one web series?
Just like that guy, but not as wolfy.
I love that guy.
Maisie puts the cup to her lips. From behind her, Asher snatches it.
Hey!
Mom will kill me if you come home smelling like a bar towel.
Asher tries to sip from the cup when Ryker, a bit overly dressed for a high school party, and two jocks bump obnoxiously into Asher, causing him to spill beer all down his shirt. Ryker and the jocks laugh hysterically. They've clearly had a head start drinking.
That's twice today you've gotten in my way, Jackson.
Ryker starts apologetically wiping down Asher's shirt.
No, this one was my bad. I thought I was in reverse.
The jocks dutifully crack up. Asher swats Ryker's hand away.
Hope I didn't ruin this vintage, grunge-inspired thrift store ensemble you're sporting this evening.
Before Asher can say anything, Maisie steps up to Ryker with sudden, unflinching confidence.
Can't you even come up with a decent joke? Or have too many tacos till that peanut brain totally destroyed all original thought?
Ryker and his jock buddies mock her. Ryker composes himself for a comeback.
Look, everyone, it's the new hit Disney character, Princess Trailer Trash. You gonna sing a little song to underscore all that feminist spunk, Your Highness?
Asher tries to pull Maisie aside, but Ryker's jock buddies step between them. They want to see how this plays out.
Maisie, I think we should...
You know, Ryker, I may be that heiress to a trash heap, but you'll always be the doormat to a king.
Her words cut Ryker to the core. His tone turns dark. He gets in her face. Chloe and Blake can't believe what they're hearing. Asher tries to maneuver out of the jock's hold.
What the hell did you say to me, little girl?
Maisie backs away, suddenly shaken. Asher breaks through the jocks and shoves Ryker, shielding Maisie.
Get away from my sister, Ryker.
Ryker advances.
Why don't you tell your sister to stop hitting on me?
Just before Asher can push him back, Sophia, appearing from the darkness, dressed in dark hues, steps in, blocking Asher.
I'm taken anyway.
Ryker winks at Maisie. Sophia locks her gaze on Ryker's.
Hey, that's enough.
He fixates on Sophia. His eyes soften, his facial muscles relax. He's trapped in her words.
Whatever you say, Soph.
Asher's perplexed by Ryker's reaction. He turns to Maisie.
You okay?
Back to normal. Maisie snatches her cup again.
I won't tell if you won't.
Maisie takes off with Blake and Chloe.
Wait a second. This is how horror movies start.
Asher moves toward Ryker again.
Soph? Really? Ryker, if you...
A hand grabs Asher's shoulder. He turns to see Micah.
Leave it.
Ryker has already forgotten about Asher anyway. He grabs Sophia, lifts her up, and starts making out with her. Disgusted, Asher walks off with Micah. Exterior, party, night, continuous. As Micah and Asher walk away,
I believe the response you're silently searching for is thank you.
For what? You ditched me.
What are you talking about? I just saved your ass.
Asher eyes him. Not what he was talking about.
Your mom was having one of her freakouts and your house was on fire. What was I supposed to do?
Asher shrugs in agreement. In the distance, Ryker and Sophia are chatting closely.
What am I doing, Micah? I don't belong here.
We're in high school, Ash. No one belongs.
No, like here, right now. I'm starting to feel like I was born into the wrong era or family or the wrong body or something.
Whoa! This isn't turning into one of those Asher believes he's really in Ashley talks, is it? Because I will not support you on that journey.
What?
I mean, unless it's what you really want, then I'm here for you, of course. Ashley?
Micah puts his hand awkwardly on Asher's shoulder. Asher gives him a what the hell look.
We're not talking about gender transitions, are we?
They really shouldn't have taken you off the meds.
Looking back at Sophia.
I'm just destined to be...
A failure like Ryker wants you to think?
Failing would be something. I'm just mediocre.
Frustrated, Asher pulls another oak tree box and a lighter from his pocket. Micah swipes the box from Asher's hand.
If you're tired of it, go do something about it.
Katelyn Jenner style? I can't even take a driving test without becoming the latest Titan viral hit.
Have you seen the remix?
The what?
Nothing.
Asher swipes his box back. He puts a joint in his mouth.
I might as well be the one with the crutch.
There's a rustling behind them. They turn. It's Grayson. By the look on Grayson's face, Asher knows he heard everything. Shit.
Grayson, I didn't mean...
Don't worry, little bro. I get it.
Grayson walks off, hurt.
Why?
Asher starts after Grayson, but Micah stops him, pointing toward Ryker and Sophia, suddenly arguing in the distance. Oddly, Ryker looks more concerned than anger. Asher sees Sophia break free from Ryker's grip. She storms off. Asher turns again in Grayson's direction. Micah grips his arm sternly, surprising Asher.
Asher, go do something about it.
Asher hesitates, then breaks free from Micah's grip and disappears into the trees, following Grayson. Exterior, in the woods near the party, night. Asher brushes aside tree limbs as he treks through the woods.
Grayson?
There's rustling around him. He looks back. He heads in the direction of the noise. Exterior, near the bonfire at the party, night. Grayson takes a seat next to Tegan.
Where's Asher?
Grayson looks around. He sees Ryker looking agitated.
Better question is, where's Sophia?
Grayson's worry disappears as Tegan places her hand on his. They barely notice the audience staring daggers at them. Exterior, in the woods near the party, night. Asher looks around. The scenery has changed. The bonfire is no longer in sight. There's another rustling noise. Asher turns to see a path weirdly illuminated by moonlight. He follows it.
Grayson, come on. I know you hate hiking, so why don't you just...
He comes to an opening and stops when he sees Sophia peering out at the lake, lost in her thoughts, serene in the moonlight. Exterior, ledge overlooking the lake, night, continuous. Asher watches her a moment, observing every intimate detail up close and in slow motion. Time speeds up as Asher approaches, keeping a safe distance. Sophia speaks without looking at him.
Figured you wouldn't come.
Wasn't going to.
So why the sudden interest in, what do you call it? Ritualistic indoctrination?
Asher approaches.
Well, my house was descending into total chaos.
How is that out of the norm?
Touché. Rios?
She almost cracks a smile. He's right behind her and pulls out the box from his doorstep and holds it in her view.
Then I opened the door to find this mysterious little birthday box.
That is weird, even for you.
He circles her.
Exactly. So I thought to myself, Asher, you have to go to that Perseids party and follow this conundrum tonight.
She reaches for the box, but he clasps his hand around it.
You wouldn't happen to know anything about it, would you?
Probably cursed. I'd get rid of it.
Well, in that case...
Asher pulls back his arm, ready to toss it in the lake.
No, wait!
Asher freezes, eyeing Sophia.
As if I would stand by and let you pollute Olympic Valley Lake with a cursed object.
He puts the box back in his pocket. Sophia breathes a sigh of relief.
What are you doing up here?
Remembering?
Remembering what?
First time we got high?
Asher laughs. The woods around them illuminate with glowing fireflies.
Yeah, first Crusades party, the night my dad...
Asher goes somber a moment before Sophia brings him back.
First time we met.
You were standing right here, bawling your eyes out for your mom.
I was not bawling.
It was adorable.
Moonlight, flickering and glowing, encompass them.
We've had a lot of firsts up here.
Sophia stares at him before her expression turns blank.
Sophie, what's with you?
I don't know what's happening to me, Ash.
Asher reaches up and touches some of Sophia's hair, focusing on all the details of it. Sophia closes her eyes.
I feel...
You can tell me.
Asher stares deeply at her. Her eyes pop open. The woods go dark.
nothing. I feel nothing.
Her answer throws Asher. Before he can speak, a drunken jock stumbles out of the woods.
You guys seen my phone?
How did you get up here?
I followed Sophia. She's got my... Hey! Aren't you that stoner kid that hit old man Melvin?
I think I hear your phone ringing way over there.
Sophia points to the crowd and pushes him back toward the party. He stumbles off.
Yeah, I hear it. Yeah, thanks, guys.
Nice.
Sophia continues, back to normal.
I've been having these spells, like where I can't remember things.
Like blacking out?
No, more like blanking out. Like there's just nothing there. I wake up in the morning so angry or panicked or just so scared. And I have no idea why.
In the distance, Ryker has stopped romping with friends. He's looking around.
Except around Ryker. I know that's ridiculously girly.
This stings Asher.
It's like he's the only thing that makes sense. When I'm with him, I know exactly where I'm supposed to be.
Sophia,
Asher attempts to tiptoe around the issue.
you can't be serious. You two weren't exactly Barack and Michelle down there.
Sophia steps back, offended. Asher can't hold back.
But he's such a dick.
You know, Asher, you're not the only one who's lost someone.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, I'm...
Can we just stop this awkward, circular, arguing, apologizing thing we're doing right now?
Yeah, it's so not us.
So not us.
Asher sweeps her into a friendly embrace.
Fine, if Riker's your drug of choice, I guess I can live with that for now.
She hugs him back, but he's not satisfied. Exterior, party near the lake, night, continuous. Ryker senses something. He looks to the distance, barely making out two people. Then, coming into sharp, almost telescopic focus, he sees Asher and Sophia hugging. Fuming, Ryker looks around, spotting Maisie and her friends giggling as Maisie pours drinks from a bottle of liquor. Ryker throws his cup on the ground and pushes through the crowd toward Maisie. End of Act 3. Act 4. Exterior, party at Olympic Valley Lake, night. Ryker brushes past Blake and Chloe. He backs Maisie against a tree, pinning her there. Exterior, overlook away from the party, night, continuous. Asher and Sophia are still in each other's arms. Asher squeezes a bit tighter, breathing her in. Suddenly, a ball of light streaks across the sky. Sophia glances up. Another ball of light streaks across the sky.
Look!
Exterior party at the lake, night, continuous. As Micah looks to the sky, brilliant balls of light rain down. Suddenly, he hears that voice again. He's confused. Exterior, bonfire, night, continuous. Tegan and Grayson stand together. Tegan looks like she's happy enough to fly. They hold each other closely. Light streaks across the faces of Yoshi and the partygoers. Everyone is mesmerized. The lake and mountains are illuminated by celestial fireworks. It's spellbinding. Exterior, party near the lake, night, continuous. Ryker and Maisie look to the sky. She tries to move. He puts his arm up to block her. She drops the bottle. Exterior, overlook away from the party, night, continuous. Sophia watches the sky.
It's incredible.
Asher remains fixed on Sophia. There's a sudden air of confidence in his stance. His eyes are piercing, unflinching. His voice is confident, regal.
It's all for you.
One hand touches a face. Another hand is wrapped around a waist. Asher pulls Sophia in tight. Their heads tilt. Their lips barely graze one another's when Asher's ear catches a high-pitched noise from a distance. He hones in until...
Get away!
Instinctively, Asher turns, looks in on Maisie, and darts back through the woods towards his sister. Sophia follows. Exterior, bonfire night, continuous. Grayson sees Maisie pinned between a tree and an aggressive Ryker.
Hey, back off!
Grayson makes his way as fast as possible to Maisie. Exterior, party, night, continuous. Micah looks around, blinding lights streaking in every direction. Micah turns to the partygoer next to him.
What's that?
I didn't see anything.
Micah looks at the partygoer, shakes his head, looks at his cup.
This is only my first drink.
The crowd moves towards the Ryker and Maisie commotion, leaving Micah isolated. He hears the voice again, louder this time, like a loud whispered record playing in reverse.
Me's her. Me.
Who said that?
A few stragglers react, half scared, half laughing at crazy, drunken Micah. The voice gets louder. There's a piercing pitch to it. Micah drops his cup and covers his ears. His world starts spinning. Exterior, party near the lake, night, continuous. Ryker won't let Maisie go. He's laughing maniacally as she struggles when suddenly she stops and Maisie punches Ryker with all her might, square in the jaw. Maisie grabs her hand in pain. Ryker, shocked but not too hurt, shakes his head. Her blow has snapped him back to reality. He moves forward.
Oh my god, Maisie, I'm so...
A hand grabs Ryker's shoulder. Startled and without looking, Ryker turns too forcefully, knocking Grayson back. Grayson's crutch gets snagged and snaps. He falls to the ground, yelping in pain as he grabs his leg. A crowd has gathered. Ryker realizes what he has done. It was an accident. Then, Asher tackles Ryker to the ground, landing on top. He starts wailing on Ryker. Sophia trails behind them. The crowd gawks at the commotion with a celestial fire show backdrop. Ryker manages to roll Asher over and pin him on the ground. Maisie jumps on Ryker's back, but he easily knocks her off for her own protection. But Asher sees Maisie thud against the hard ground. He's incensed. Asher clasps Ryker by the neck, squeezing violently. Ryker chokes. He tries to beat Asher's hand loose, but Asher's strength increases. Suddenly, Asher's hands quiver. His skin ripples. His hands and arms morph to someone else's, then back again. They look exactly like Ryker's arms. Asher's transforming to Ryker. Asher's whole body starts to tremble, but he doesn't let go. Ryker's point of view. A gagging Ryker looks at Asher's face and sees his own face staring back at him, his own hands choking him. Asher's point of view. He stares back at his own face choking. Grayson's point of view. From the ground, Grayson sees a flash of Asher's and Ryker's transformations. Asher's face contorting to Ryker's and back. Ryker panics. He struggles harder but can't break free.
Asher, let go!
Asher lets go. Ryker slides off Asher, gasping for air. Asher jumps up and holds his hands in front of his face, stunned. What the fuck? They're back to normal. He pats himself down. It's still him. Asher looks at Grayson, and Grayson meets his gaze. He saw it too. Exterior, party, night, continuous. The whispered voice has grown louder. It's coming from the sky, the water, the trees, etc. Balls of light fly directly at Micah.
Help me! Her, help me! Her!
Micah covers his ears and yells.
What do you want from me?
Micah's face contorts in pain. He drops to his knees. The whispered voices are at maximum volume, encircling Micah, who begins violently convulsing. Suddenly, Micah's world is silenced. In slow motion, Micah sees a flaming ball of light shooting straight for him. It slams into his chest, but instead of shattering him into a million pieces, it's absorbed into his entire body. In a ground-quaking moment, light shoots out from the inside of Micah as he's lifted off the ground and dropped again. Micah thuds on the ground, completely lifeless. Is he a dead beat? Then Micah stands, focused, stronger than ever, and acting under a higher power. Micah has awoken. He bolts away. Exterior, party near the lake, night, continuous. Asher stands, still holding his hands in front of his face. He's shaking. He turns to Ryker. They make eye contact. Then Asher sees the liquor bottle in Ryker's hand.
Asher, get out of...
Before anyone can make a move, Ryker thwacks Asher's head with the bottle. Asher hits the ground, stunned. He attempts to stand, but the world is spinning. Then, Asher's point of view, in and out of focus. He blinks a blurry Micah engulfed in a streak of light, racing toward him from a distance. No one else seems to notice. Bloodied and battered, Asher murmurs incomprehensibly. It's reminiscent of the voice Micah is hearing. Ryker staggers into Asher's eyeline, obstructing his vision. Sophia's voice can be heard as sound slowly returns.
Ryker, don't.
Freak?
Ryker kicks Asher over one last time. Asher flops on the ground as Micah bursts onto the scene with superhuman strength and speed. Micah knocks Ryker against a tree. There's a dent in the tree as Ryker slams to the ground. Ryker attempts to move, then flops to the ground, out cold for the moment. The crowd is taken aback. The sky fades to dark. The show's over. Micah stares at his own hands as he towers over the defeated Ryker. As he steps back, the crowd does too. Asher rustles on the ground. Micah rushes to his side.
Asher, buddy, wake up!
Grayson and Maisie gather around. Asher's eyes flutter, and his bloody mouth moves. Sophia sees Asher trying to talk to Micah. Micah puts his ear as close as possible to Asher's mouth. Micah leans close to Asher's mouth. In the faintest of muffled whispers, Asher breathes at the word.
Olympus.
Micah's eyes open wide. Asher's out again. Micah promptly stands and backs away from the scene. Whispering, staring, pointing, the crowd parts for Micah. Asher comes to. Maisie helps him up. He is barely able to focus on Micah. Asher knows that look.
Micah, wait, I don't...
Sorry, I think I have to be somewhere.
Micah speeds off, abandoning Asher again. The crowd, with Asher in front, is left wondering what the hell just happened. Interior, Sophia's car, outside the Olympic Valley Lodge, night. Asher looks at the log exterior of the Olympic Valley Lodge.
I knew I should have taken that extra shift.
Can't you at least take us home?
I can't just leave Ryker there.
Asher's disappointed in her.
Micah will come back. He always does.
Maisie and Grayson help each other out of the car. As Asher lingers, Grayson gives him a "you coming" look. Asher stays. Grayson shakes his head in disapproval and keeps walking. Asher reaches into his pocket and pulls out the little black box. He tosses it in Sophia's lap.
Take this. I don't want it.
What? Why?
Because I don't know you anymore.
Asher looks at Sophia's confused expression.
You went with me to the museum, Sophie.
Silent beat.
You went with me and we had fun. You're the only reason I did that stupid assignment. Then you lied about it to Wildhoff in front of everybody, like you were embarrassed that you didn't know me.
Asher pauses for a response. Sophia remains silent.
You can't even tell me there wasn't something between us because before Ryker and all this.
What do you want? Some sob story about getting scared and running from my feelings?
That's not what I meant.
One night doesn't mean the rest of our lives, Asher.
Burn. He locks eyes with her. His tone is colder and frank.
Maybe not, but it meant something to me.
Asher turns to get out of the car.
Wait.
She opens the box and takes out the crystal from Maldark's dungeon room. It's on a necklace chain now. She puts it around his neck. As she lets go, Asher sees a nasty, partially healed cut in the palm of Sophia's hand. Sophia is the cloaked girl from Maldark's dungeon. He grabs her hand.
How did that happen?
I don't know. Must have gotten dropped during cheerleading practice or something.
Her words are empty and expressionless. Asher knows something is terribly wrong, but he lets it go and examines the rock.
I used to have one like this when I was a kid.
I know.
Asher nods in appreciation and leaves. Exterior, a mountain cabin, night. Micah stands outside, bewildered, staring at the front door of a secluded cabin. A single fire burns inside. He moves to the front door, driven by another force. Before he can knock, the door opens.
I think I have a message for you.
Standing in the doorway is Wildhoff, calm, collected. He nods.
Olympus is rising.
A corner of Wildhoff's mouth turns upward. End of Act 4. Act 5. Interior, Wildhoff's cabin, night. Luke Wildhoff pulls Micah inside, checks the outside, closes and locks the door. As Micah enters, the fire glows brighter and illuminating the interior. Luke Wildhoff's cabin is full of ancient-looking weapons, artifacts, books, religious relics, etc.
Oh, my God, Mr. Wildhoff, I swear I only had one drink, not even one drink. I've never done anything like this. I've never punched anyone in my life. I had no idea I could hit so hard.
Hermes, old friend, relax.
Please, please, please don't tell my parents, please. I'm just going to... What did you say?
Relax.
Before that.
Hermes,
Micah freezes.
I'm guessing it's not the first time tonight you've heard it.
Micah stares, disbelieving.
I thought I was going crazy.
Well, you always have been a bit high-strung.
What does it mean?
It's your name.
Wildhoff takes Micah's hand and places in it an ancient-looking talisman, a gold staff with 2 snakes wrapped around it, with wings at the center, the symbol of the messenger god. Micah fixates on it.
Your true name.
Micah's resistant. Wildhoff leans in.
Think, Micah. Think past tonight.
Micah stares. Close up, Micah's eye entering into deep subconscious. He's thinking beyond time and space. As he does, time reverses. He speeds past his fight with Ryker, past a whizzing series of memories, back to a time when Earth was more primitive. He sees a mountain and a regal figure standing atop it. The figure almost resembles someone we've met.
Past this year, past your favorite birthday, past your first memory, and keep going until you recall the time we ruled this earth. Remember when the humans prayed to us, made sacrifices in our names, and bowed down before us? Think long and hard, and remember that you're a...
Back on Micah, wide-eyed and dead serious.
God.
Wildhoff nods. Then Micah re-enters reality and freaks out.
No, Mr. Wildhoff, no way. You've taken this Greek tragedy stuff way too far.
Micah tries to hand back the talisman, but Wildhoff forces his hand closed around it. Micah struggles a bit.
Mythology, please. It's not all tragic.
If I'm a god, what are you?
There are more questions now than I could possibly give answers to.
That's not a very teachery response.
Wildhoff lets go of Micah's hand.
Look again.
Skeptically, Micah raises up his hand and unclasps his fist. As he does, the talisman hovers in a bed of fire in Micah's palm. Micah panics.
What the? Get it off me!
Micah shakes his hand frantically, trying to put out the fire. The fire clings to his palm. Wildhoff calmly grabs the back of Micah's hand, holding it steady in front of him.
Mr. Wildhoff, please! It's burning!
Control it.
I can't!
Yes, you can.
Micah zeroes in on the fire. He steadies himself. Wildhoff lets go. Micah stares, amazed. His hand is fine. He moves his palm closer to his face, examining the flames. With caution, he touches the fire. Nothing happens.
I can control fire?
Micah toys with the flames, passing them from one hand to another.
How'd you do this?
I'm somewhat of a seasoned expert when it comes to fire tricks.
The fire unexpectedly shoots a stray spark. They both duck. Wildhoff quickly but gently places his hand on top of the fire, extinguishing it.
Albeit a bit rusty, I suppose.
Micah examines the talisman. It's completely unscathed.
I can control fire.
Don't get too excited. You're not ready to go practicing with blowtorches just yet.
Micah eyes him questioningly. Cut to exterior, woods near the party, night. The drunken jock is stumbling, lost in the dark. A phone rings. He follows the noise to a shadowed figure.
Sophie, you did find it.
Then the dark figure raises a heavy tree branch.
Sophia, is that you?
The figure hits the drunken jock. He falls to the ground. Drunken jock point of view. He reaches out for help as the figure almost comes into focus, but then he's out cold. It drags his body away with ease. Exterior, Sophia's car at the lake party, night. Sophia tosses a bag in the trunk and slams it shut as Ryker approaches.
I saw you with him.
And you decided to assault his little sister?
You can't have us both, Sophia.
I'm going to have to choose? What is this, a Daniel Steele novel?
What?
Sophia is disgusted
Why did I even come back here?
as Ryker stumbles away.
Why did you come back here? Why don't you just go back to smoking your homegrown herbs with your trailer park friends, Sophia?
She gets in the car, but she can't quite drive away. Ryker stops and thinks for a second.
Damn it.
He turns back to run after Sophia.
Wait, Sophie!
Sophia opens the door and sticks her head out.
Sophie, I didn't mean,
He can't quite say it.
I know.
Sympathetically, she gestures for him to get in. He does. Exterior, Maldark's mansion, night. Sophia and Ryker stand outside the front door. They share a long, apologetic goodnight embrace.
Look at the world we live in now, Micah.
Ryker disappears behind the door. As soon as the door closes, Sophia's expression turns obscure, her sights focused, as she makes her way back to her car.
The humans we believed in have abandoned us and all but destroyed themselves in our absence.
She opens the trunk. The drunken jock is bound and gagged, with her bag on top of him. He weakly protests as Sophia hoists him out with surprising strength. Interior, Maldark's dungeon, night. Morin, Maldark, and Imogen, now with streaks of color shooting out of their matted hair, open a hidden back door. Sophia drags in the drunken jock.
One by one we're awakening, rising up to reclaim our rightful place as rulers of humankind. But there are some determined to enact vengeance.
There's a scratching noise from behind the heavy door.
Let's not keep our pet waiting. He's hungry.
Imogen opens the heavy door. In the darkness, there is a multitude of glowing eyes, growling noises, and the sounds of saliva dripping. Sophia drags the frightful drunken jock just inside the door. The drunken jock squirms and cries. He freezes in fear when he sees all the eyes staring at him. There's a flash of razor-sharp teeth and the sounds of hungry growling. Imogen slams the heavy door closed.
Wait.
There are muffled screams as the drunken jock is heard being ripped to shreds. Imogen rushes to Sophia and whispers in her ear, putting her back into a trance.
My spell is wearing off.
Just wait a bit longer. We're still too weak. Did you give it to him?
Yes,
Excellent, my dear. And my nephew.
I don't want...
Like I've said, keep him close.
Sophia nods obediently with an empty sadness in her eyes. Interior, Wildhoff's cabin, night. Micah eyes the maps, relics, and ancient items in the cabin.
Vengeance? For what?
2 millennia of suppression, bruised egos, Freudian family feuding, the list goes on.
Micah turns the talisman in his hand. He looks up.
How do I know you're not the enemy?
Very clever, Micah. Wildhoff pauses. He looks uncertain, maybe even a ping of guilt.
I know this is a lot to take in. It'll come back to you over time, but right now you have one task.
No more homework. I'm running for student council again, and my first qualifying meet is in a couple of...
No, Micah, nothing like that. Someone sent you here.
Who?
Zeus.
You mean...
I mean shape-shifting, lightning, bolt-throwing, king of the gods, Zeus.
Oh, good. For a second, I thought you were setting up for a punchline of the worst joke ever.
Wildhoff's tone becomes darker, more obscure and forceful.
Find Zeus and bring him to me.
Micah catches something arcane in Wildhoff's eyes. Then, Micah's phone sounds. The screen reads, "From Asher, 7 unread messages." Micah puts his phone away. He thinks for a moment.
Why you?
Because I'm the only one who can keep him safe.
Micah nods in a silent but skeptical understanding. He snaps his fingers, clasping the talisman. He opens his hand and flames engulf the talisman. Then it all disappears as the flames go out. Micah smiles. He's catching on quickly. End of Act 5. Act 6. Interior, Olympic Valley Lodge, night. The Olympic Valley Lodge is part cafe and part bar, set up with big screens for karaoke. It's cozy, warm, and a bit cave-like. Teenagers are sobering up. Blake and Chloe are drunkenly comforting Maisie. People stop to point and whisper at Asher as he moves to a booth. He turns the crystal necklace in his hand. Grayson approaches, startling him. Asher clasps his hand around the crystal.
What's that?
Stupid rock.
He shoves it in his pocket.
How's Maisie?
Less pissed than I am. She's recapping the evening with Blake and Chloe.
Sounds entertaining.
I've heard more formal language in Tarantino films.
A server, Leslie, late teens, average looking, brings coffee for Grayson.
Coffee for you,
She hands a towel full of ice to Asher.
and for you, Asher. See you tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks.
She turns to leave, then stops.
Oh, I almost forgot. Here you go.
She hands Grayson a job application. He quickly shoves away, unsuccessfully hiding it from Asher.
Is that?
Leslie, enough with the phone numbers. How many times do I have to tell you I'm not interested?
Leslie rolls her eyes as she leaves. Grayson fidgets with his coffee.
What about you? Are you...
Stop, Asher. Save the concerned man of the house Tony for Mom.
Nervous, Asher instinctively pulls out his oak tree box again. Grayson covers it with his hand.
Jesus, Asher. Would you put that away already?
Sorry. Coping mechanism.
Why'd you even come out tonight?
You guys asked me.
Don't put this on us. You did it for Sophia. For some stupid rock she didn't have the decency to hand to you in person.
Grayson, she's going through some...
Do not make excuses for her, Asher. I just spent the last 15 minutes making an ass of myself because I can't stand seeing Maisie cry. I've got a broken crutch you can't afford to replace, and you, look at you. The only common denominator I can find is Sophia.
What? Ryker knocked you down. Ryker did all of this.
But why? As long as he's in the picture, hanging out with her is like pissing on a honey badger's territory. And where's she now? You're not the same when you're with her.
Asher shifts nervously. He looks down at his hands. They're still warm.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I've had a lot to drink.
Grayson's phone rings. Asher sees Tegan's picture on the flashing on the screen. Grayson's mood instantly lightens.
She's dangerous, Asher.
Curb the drama, Grayson.
Grayson's phone rings again. He's getting distracted.
You gonna get that?
I mean it, stay away from her. Miss me already? Nah, it's just a scratch.
As Grayson limps away, Micah bursts in and makes a beeline for Asher. Asher can barely finish his thoughts.
Micah, what happened to...
I panicked.
Where'd you...
Just need a minute.
Are you...
Fine? Sorry, I split like that. Won't happen again.
Are you sure you're...
Yeah, in fact, I feel really focused.
Asher shakes his head.
They really shouldn't have taken you off those meds.
Grayson returns from his phone call, beaming.
How'd you manage that?
3 little words. Well, not little. Virtual vampire boyfriend. What can I say, little bro? Some of us are born with it.
Grayson taps his phone screen and holds it to Asher's face.
Others, well, they're more like you.
Asher watches the screen for a moment, but we can't see it. Laughter comes from the side of the room. Asher looks over to see Yoshi and some teenagers gathered around a tablet. Yoshi catches Asher's sight. He gives an apologetic, I couldn't resist, shrug. Asher's face goes stoic as he swipes the phone from Grayson and makes a beeline for the AV board.
Micah, what's he doing?
I don't know, man. I think he might have snapped.
They watch as Asher cues something up and cuts the music. The crowd gets agitated.
Excuse me, everyone. Hi. Thanks for coming out to the Olympic Valley Lodge tonight. I hope you, How about them parasites party?
What exactly is he on?
Sadly, this is pure sobriety talking.
Slowly, the patrons turn his way. Asher leans into the microphone too close and bangs his bloodied lip. He winces as microphone squeals. Dead silence. A panicked Maisie looks to Grayson. He gestures for her to stay seated.
Should we stop him?
Nah, let's see how this plays out.
So, anyway, in honor of tonight's epic meteor shower, I'd like to present you with Olympic Valley's own latest party hit. Yeah.
Asher fumbles with the buttons until he hits the right one, and a catchy remix dance song over the video of Asher hitting Maldark's car pops on the jumbo screen. It takes a moment, but once a crowd realizes what is going on, all of Olympic Valley Lodge goes wild. Asher's a hit. Exterior, Asher's house, night. Micah's car pulls up. The mood has lightened as Asher, Maisie, and Grayson make their way indoors. Asher lingers outside.
So, how do I spot this guy? Or will he be wearing a, hello, my name is Zeus name tag?
Asher looks to Micah. There's a silent exchange between them. Interior, Asher's house, night, continuous. Maisie makes a good night adjustment to one of her plans as she looks out the window. A light streaks across her face.
Not exactly.
Interior, Grayson's bedroom, night, continuous. Grayson looks up from texting to see a light fall across the sky.
He'll appear when he's ready, as long as they don't get to him first. Just trust your instincts.
Interior, Tegan's bedroom, night, continuous. Tegan receives a goodnight message on her phone from Grayson. She smiles as she sees a lone meteor traveling across the sky outside of her bedroom window.
And what if he doesn't show? Or I can't find him?
Interior, Sophia's car, night, continuous. Sophia stops her car on a deserted road. She shakes her head, confused and upset. She looks in all directions. She has no idea where she is.
Or her. Look, the difference between us and humans, Micah, is that the cosmos don't give us the luxury of choice.
Exterior, Sophia's car, night, continuous. Sophia steps out of the car. She sees the same meteor flash across the sky. It lights her empty eyes. Interior, Maldark's mansion, night, continuous. Ryker stands alone in pristine emptiness, peering out the window.
We can't run from our destinies.
Ryker sees the same light soaring above the mountains.
But I'm on the honor roll in the debate team. How am I supposed to find a god and protect her or him and save humanity and...
Exterior, Asher's house, night, continuous. As Asher finally goes inside, Micah sees the flash in the sky.
Relax. You don't have to do any of that. You're just the messenger.
Micah has transformed. There are flickers of gold around his shoes, in his hair. It's almost an aura he has. He's a god among humans. Exterior, outside Asher's house, night. Micah watches from a distance. He sees Asher painstakingly sit down on his bed. Interior, Asher's bedroom, night, continuous. Asher pulls out his oak box, thinks about it, then tosses it into the nightstand. He opens the necklace box, takes out the necklace, and starts to put it on when it pulses. He stops. Am I drunk? He rubs the side of his head where the bottle hit him. He checks his own hands one more time. Nothing. Then, out the window, something catches his eye. He walks over to it. In the distance, he sees flickers of gold that disappear in a flash. Weird. Asher puts on his necklace. It pulses again, but he doesn't notice. Asher's point of view. Out the window, through the trees, across the lake. Beyond Maldark's mansion, and high above the mountains, one last meteor shoots across the sky. The streak of light illuminates Asher's face. His eyes spark like lightning bolts. End of pilot.